You are now tuned in to the Bulldog Sports Show.
Hi there and welcome to the Bulldog Sports Show, brought to you by Salamander's Grill. I'm your host, Kim Weems.
And I'm comedian Jay Ford, and we're going to be talking about NFL sports, college sports, MMA, boxing. But first, let's talk to Coach Black. That's not Coach Black.
Our usual person here.
Wait a minute. You don't come on into a college football
That's your
show.
segment, Derrick.
Coach is out of town this week.
Is that what you did? You bumped him off to get his spot?
He could do that technically,
I mean, you
Come
have
on,
your
I'm a
own
nice man,
segment.
man. Come on, man. I'm a nice
You have
person.
your own segment. Why did you do that, poor Coach? So Coach is coming back next week?
Yeah, he'll be back next week.
Okay, all right. So you didn't bump him off or nothing like that, right?
Man.
I'm just checking. I don't know. I want to get more camera time, maybe. I don't know how this works.
Those of you who
I'm
don't know
actually
who this
shy
is,
of
this is
the camera.
Derrick
I don't like the
Riviere.
camera.
Well, you're normally behind the camera torturing everybody else.
Right.
Torturing is a good word.
It is a good word. So let's jump right into it. What happened to the Jaguars?
They lost.
Yes, so I see that here. It looks like, actually.
The actual score was 17-9. What really hurt him was the defense. Blake Bortles, he did well in the game. He had 2 turnovers, but the defense, they have to improve the defense, So
That's kind of what Coach been telling us. Yeah.
It's a good thing that he's not here because that's his team, the Steelers. So he'd be gloating head to toe right now, probably wearing the jersey and everything.
Right.
So.
And another thing too, you got to realize the Jaguars, they are kind of young on offense.
Right,
So
right.
I truly believe like next season you'll see a much better team.
So they're still like in a rebuilding phase, you're saying?
They have to me they have key players, and of course quarterback with Bortles. They have good receivers. Actually, also they have Storm Johnson. He was also the running back that played with Bortles at UCF.
What's his name again?
Storm.
I'm just saying.
Funny, man.
I'm just saying that with a name like that, I mean, you give it a superhero or something,
Yeah,
like a
Storm
race
Johnson.
car,
Right.
race car driver
Yeah,
or something.
right.
Storm Johnson.
Yeah, and he's been hurt, and he actually played for the first time this past week, and he did pretty good for the carries that he had. So if they improve their defense and the offense use this season as a stepping stone to playing well for next season, you should see a good Jaguars team next year.
Before next season starts, how do you think they're going to do next week against the Titans?
that game, I actually think they can win. The key for them in that game, they have to play good defense.
Right.
Bortles, he makes the throws to get the first downs. On defense, they allow the opponent to make the throws to score touchdowns, and you can't allow that to happen.
Okay.
So again, the recurring theme is defense.
Now,
That's what it sounds like.
Now, you just did the Jaguars. Now, I know what's coming up because we go from the top of the panhandle all the way down.
Right here.
Yeah, and I already know where this is going, and we already talked about this.
Right.
So go ahead.
It wasn't horrible in case you
No, it
remember
wasn't. It was
talking
a
about
close
the Bucks.
game.
Yeah,
We're talking about the Bucks.
The Bucks played a pretty good game. Again, defense.
Right.
If they improve the defense, if your offense and special teams put up 31 points, your defense have to play better.
31 points in
31
special
points.
teams.
No, combined with offense and special teams.
Oh, okay.
Your defense, you can't allow 37 points.
Right.
They can blame for everything.
Yeah.
Defense, they can blame for everything.
Basically.
And we have a different starter now. Is that right? Mike Glennon, is he going to start throughout the season, you think?
I think it's his job to lose, and me personally, I believe.
Yeah.
Tell us how you really feel. Oh my goodness.
No, I think Lovie Smith should have started Glennon at the beginning of the season.
Okay.
The team is used to him. When I understand. And right now I'm drawing a blank, but the guy that came in, McCown, who came in, yes, he knows Lovie Smith's offense, but if you don't work out with your team, if you don't practice on a regular basis with your new teammates, then you're not going to be on the same page. So, whereas, you know, Levy's old team, the Chicago Bears, where McCown shined in that offense with his teammates there, you know, in Tampa Bay, this is a new year, new teammates, and you know, it takes time for you to gel.
Start meshing like that.
Right.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
They've always kept a good defense. What do you think has to be done for the Bucs to get back to their greatness?
You know, they have to learn how to tackle. I was watching the game against the Saints, and it's like
They are NFL football players. Yeah. I'm pretty sure one of them knows how to tackle. By now.
okay, well they
Takes more than one.
They need to do it. You know,
Tacklers.
other thing is, you know, you can't just hit a guy and think he's going to go down. He might bounce up,
Right.
and you know, get some extra yardage.
Right.
So you know, you have to on defense. You have to tackle. Bottom line, you have to tackle.
And how do you think they're going to do against the Ravens next week?
They might lose.
You
Right?
always like giggles. That's so funny.
No, the only reason I say that, look, the Ravens are coming off a loss to the Colts.
Right.
So now they're going to want to, first of all, they lost to the Colts. Steelers won. So both the Steelers and the Ravens are 3-2 right now. So the Ravens know they have to win to at least stay in contention with the Steelers. You
Right.
know? So if the Bucs come out and play good defense, then they might have a chance. But I would have to take the Ravens, I guess.
Oh man.
Now, Miami was off this week.
Yeah,
right?
Miami's off.
So what do
Miami's
we
off.
have to see for them? Who they playing next? What's going on there? Do we know?
Right now I do not know.
I know, because we weren't focusing on
Nah.
this. I know, I don't know either. That's not in my
I was
notes.
off this weekend too.
I was as
Oh,
well.
I'm still
But
feeling
you know,
Saturday.
yeah. So
Well, they've
you know.
had a week off, needless to say, so they should be hitting the ground running this week, in other words.
Oh yeah, they
Whoever
should.
they're playing,
They should. I know. You know, in a few weeks they will play the New England Patriots, and but you know, for next week, whoever they play, they have to, you know, they have to play good offense, be good on defense, and you know, make some special team plays.
All right. I mean, I ain't got nothing to add with that because, like, every time you start saying offense and defense, I'm just like, I just want them to win, man. I don't care what I got to
At
do.
the
I'll
end of the day, we
sacrifice
have
a
to
chicken.
remember that
I will
all
burn them.
defense is key.
I don't care.
Defense is key,
Sacrificing
man.
chicken?
Whatever it takes. Whatever it takes.
Bringing in some
Voodoo.
special teams. Not just special teams.
Special teams. Like magic teams.
Yeah, he's so crazy. Well, that's
Serious, at my
great.
house during the Buck game, man, we do all kinds of stuff. We take a Warren Sapp jersey and wave in the front of the TV. I got a
Well, you know,
flag during the commercials. They got to turn the flag
tell you
during the
something. One
commercials.
thing-
And when the game comes back on, you got to put the flag back. I mean, we
Does
do
dog
all
have the
kinds of
jerseys?
stuff.
Let me
Does the
tell you.
dog run around in a bucket?
I have Rottweilers. I don't put jerseys
You
on
can put your
Rottweilers.
jersey on a Rottweiler.
I don't put
We're like a
jerseys.
human
And Jay, I was actually hoping the Bucks would win this week, but I was like, you know, Jay can wear his jersey again.
It was a good game. It was a good game. It was close. We didn't win, but it was very close. And they were a really good team. And they had a really good
And for those
offense.
who don't know, that game actually went to overtime. And the reason being
They
is,
fought hard there.
well, they had the lead. They allowed the Saints to come back and tie the game. And if they had played, you know, again, good defense, you know, they would have came away with victory.
That hurts. But let's roll into college football here. Let's talk about UCF. UCF played, was it the Cougars?
Now, we got some good news here. Hold
Oh,
on.
no. What we gonna do, right?
We do have good news in college.
If I can ask because I thought we was gonna take a break, but
Oh, okay.
camera guy over here, if he wants to pass my notes over behind you.
Sorry, we are a man
Mr.
down today,
Street
ladies
Fighter
and
Vega
gentlemen.
over here. Get out of the
Thank you,
camera.
sir.
Get
Thank
in
you,
front
sir.
of the camera. I told you to
It's not a
pass
statement
paperwork.
yet. It's not
Pass paperwork. That was your job. That was your whole job, was to pass paperwork and not get in front of the camera. What's wrong with you?
You could have shared
hard to
mine.
find good
I'm sure you have your
I don't
phone.
know.
Oh, no, not a problem, not a problem.
I got my eye on you. I know people.
So you go ahead. I'm listening.
Okay, so UCF played the Houston Cougars this weekend.
Yes, they did.
And they played in Houston, and it looks like they won.
They actually won, and me and Jay.
How does it actually? I know, he takes it away from them.
No. Listen. Reality.
Those are people over there.
I know, but listen.
There's our people. Look at the banner hanging on the wall.
Reality is reality. Okay. And
Their records too, right?
right. And for the team they have, after you know Bortles and Storm Johnson have left, that's a pretty for where we at right now in the season. It's pretty good. 2-2. Like I saw in the J area, the way the game ended for the victory was spectacular. The Houston's quarterback.
Friday Night Lights.
Yeah, it was a Thursday night game.
I was just going with the term, but
Yeah, not a problem.
You knew the reference, right? All right. It was one of those moments. So
Right.
make the scene for us.
Okay.
It was fog on the field.
Time is running out. Time is running out.
Time is running out. You got to go like this with a hand motion. Yeah.
I'll let you do that. Time's running out, right? The quarterback for Houston is actually like running to score a touchdown.
Right.
One of the defenders, Brandon Alexander, catches up to him, and as soon as the quarterback reaches across the goal line, Alexander hits his hand, forcing the ball out of his hand, going to the back of the end zone.
He said, no, you can't do that.
Right.
No touchdown for you.
So that's actually a touchback. So UCF gets the ball at the 20-yard line, they run the clock out, and they go home for victory.
See how he says that? It's just, it was a touchback and blah, 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 blah. For the novice guy like myself, he got basically the guy was leaning out to make the touchdown, but he smacks his hand, right?
Correct.
Okay, then because of that, they got to take the ball all the way back to the other side of the football field.
No. The ball, when he hit his hand, the ball rolled to the back of the end zone. So which is considered a touchback.
Right.
It's a fumble, but it goes in the back of the end zone, so it's a touchback. UCF gets the
Just
ball.
ran the clock out.
Yeah, UCF gets the ball at the 20-yard line. 2-3 snaps, run the clock out, game's over.
Ow. See, I'm not that technical with anything in my life.
Like it was well
I was
played.
like, the dude did this, bro, watch.
I have a vision in my head. It may not have been how it went down, but it sounds like it was good.
Did your vision have pink elephants too?
Always. Always. All of my visions seem to have pink elephants. But with this week's win, do you think the Knights can be competitive in their conference?
I was looking at the schedule, and I think they can. I think that defense actually, is improving. The quarterback, he just has to keep improving week after week. And when your defense goes out and puts out an effort as they did against Houston, that has to motivate you as an offense to go out there and at least score, at least 3 touchdowns a game to put your team in a position to win it.
All right.
Now, get out your crystal ball. How do you think they're going to be doing this week against BYU?
This week is going to be a test. This week is going to be a test. And good thing about it is it's a non-conference game, so even if they lose, it really doesn't hurt them.
I thought that meant they didn't get to talk about it afterwards. I thought it was like no conference.
No conference.
Yeah, right? Like they play the game, it's like, shh, no one talk
Do you
about
think
this.
because it's not like a conference game, are they going to try? Are they going to come out?
I
Be a good,
I hope, and
Are we going to see a game? Basically, are we going to see a game with both the second and third strings, or are we going to see?
No. This is first team. First team. I think, like I said, it's going to be a test, but. Again, and you know where I'm going to go with this. The key to victories is defense.
I thought he was going to say cheerleaders. But all right.
Although they help. I'm sure they help. They're there. People come just for them, I think, at sometimes.
No comment.
No, okay. That's smart. That's smart.
But like I think they'll win. But they have to play good defense. Right. And that's it.
Okay. And how about the Gators? They play the Tennessee, which I think this is so random, but I want to see the mascot. That's my thing. What is a volunteer? I know what a volunteer is, but how do you make that?
You know what it is? It's a mascot with like an orange jumpsuit, and he cleans his road on the.
That's what the
I've
volunteer.
asked a few. I mean, some people call them volunteers. Some people say they're on probation.
Yes.
But I've asked a few of them on 417 on the way here.
But I actually have not seen their mascot. But for the game,
Later, don't worry.
Florida actually won 10-9,
Yes.
and it was a pretty good game. Excuse me.
I I'd like to see a game with just mascots.
I would too. They have the mascot.
They do the
I
mascot
don't know about
games here
football.
in
I know
Orlando
basketball
sometimes.
they do. I don't know about football, but they do have the mascot. They
Full
just had
costume.
it. Yeah.
And they play football.
No,
Oh,
I don't know about
I think basketball.
Yeah, I haven't seen that.
I haven't seen football.
It would be more entertaining than football because there's tackles involved. That's where you're going.
We'll give them like half the field. You know what I'm saying? Like they have
I don't run too far in that, yeah.
because they got big floppy
Down
feet.
here, yeah.
Okay, we digress.
We have digressed, but the Gators have a decent record so far. They're 3-1, so
And, 3-1 or 3-2.
that's my notes. But
Well, I think 3-1. Yeah, you're right. But I forgot the first game in against I think Idaho.
yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Sorry, nothing over here, Derrick.
The first game against Idaho, I think, was rained out, so they didn't count that game. But like I said, yeah, they won 10-9. Quarterback, Jeff Driscoll.
That's a good first name.
He didn't have a pretty good game.
He was benched before the fourth quarter.
Correct.
Yes.
And Teron Harris, he came in and threw two passes, one for a touchdown, and actually helped the Gators win. When he entered the game, the offense was on like a different rhythm. Like the running back, Matt Jones, rushed for 23 attempts for 114 yards, and he scored a touchdown. He actually scored the touchdown to give them the lead. You know, and Teron Harris, sorry, he did not throw a touchdown. The drive that he was on, they kicked a field goal. But you know, those two drives that he did was the offense looked like a new team. You know. But sad news about him is he's in trouble.
He's got a little
This is the freshman you were talking about.
Hot topics, don't spoil it.
Well, sometimes you get so technical, I'm like, I don't know what I'm supposed to say next. So I was just letting you finish the technicality, but this is the freshman that got in trouble.
Yeah.
I have some info.
Yeah, you can
we'll get
go
into
ahead.
later.
Oh, yeah.
No,
Well, see,
no,
Derrick is
the
more
hot
of the
topics.
sports guy.
I still have some
Oh,
other
we can't talk
things to
about it right now?
cover.
Let's talk about it now.
Okay, hold on. Let me get my
Let's
notes.
talk about
Okay, he's accused of assault. Let me get my notes
Assault?
here. That assault.
Now, hold on. Now, he just did this game and then got in trouble?
Yeah.
So the game was on what night?
Saturday.
I'm trying to get
Yes.
a timeline here. I watch a lot of CSIs and NCIS. I love
So
that.
he was
Shout out to
accused
first
of
48.
sexually assaulting
Nah,
a female
not so
student
much. I
on
know
campus
people on
early Sunday morning.
Say it again.
He was accused of sexually assaulting a female student on campus early Sunday morning.
So
What was the game?
right after the victory.
Right after the game. So
This was this weekend?
That's what it says.
Wow.
well, that stinks.
So yeah, it does. He took himself to a low. He was high and then he came down to a low.
And I was just going to draft him for my fantasy college football team.
Wow.
So I
Do you
guess,
do that?
And
well, not now.
Okay,
now.
but yeah,
I mean,
now that
why
your
would I
guy's
draft
in
him?
hot water, you know.
But you know, I truly believe the way he played in the game, if he had started the rest of the season, Florida might have had a chance to have a winning season. Now, you know, you have to go back to Driscoll, and you know,
He's been
you have to
suspended
hope
indefinitely.
you have to hope that Driscoll plays better, and I don't know if that can happen.
Yeah, it's sad because he had this great game on Saturday, and then come Sunday, this happened. So
Right.
for now, he's been suspended indefinitely.
Right.
I don't know. I guess they'll do an investigation and go into it. I don't understand why there is so much drama in the football atmosphere.
Don't do
with-
that. Don't do that.
I'm
Because
sorry,
you play
but-
devil's advocate. You play devil's advocate.
I
He
do.
could completely be innocent, and
He
it's
could
just
be.
somebody
He
looking
could
for a
be.
buck.
But I'm just saying.
So
every
in my
time you turn the
opinion,
TV
I stay
on,
out of it and
you
let
got
the people.
racism and you got assault. It's crazy. I mean, we
But you got that wherever money is. You
Yeah,
got that
that's
wherever
true, but I
money
feel like
is.
it's a lot more out there here recently. I feel like we have another hot topic about racism that's kind of
we'll do
close
that
to
later.
home
We'll do that
here,
later.
but we'll do that later.
Oh my
We haven't.
God.
I know it's not.
I thought this was a
awesome.
family fun show.
It is family fun. I don't choose the hot topics.
I feel like I should go get like salt and pepper shakers and do a juggling act
Well,
or
let's
something.
go back to Trayon's positivity. Do you think that he's gonna? I guess he can't be leading the Gators to victory.
No, right now.
Against LSU.
Might have to
These
wait till
questions
next
were
year.
clearly written before the scandal broke
Yeah,
out.
right.
So how about the Knowles? What's going on with them?
Well, they actually won this weekend, 43-3 over Wake Forest.
Good news.
Yeah.
Florida good news.
43-3.
Yeah, like I saw someone say today, like, you know, the pro teams in Florida,
Yeah.
are not playing as well as the college
But it's
team.
been like
Even
that.
I've noticed that.
Yeah, but okay. I've grown up in Florida my entire life. Born and raised here.
Right.
And it's been like that, I mean, honestly, you know, even when I was back in this, high school, and that was class of 98. So, I mean, like, it was always been like that. The college teams were always pretty high up, but the professional teams, and it's usually because these guys get signed, they don't go to a Florida team. Some of the kids ain't even from Florida.
That's true.
You know, growing up as a kid, you're like, oh yeah, I used to root for the players. This is how dumb I was. I used to root for the players on the team, thinking that like they were Florida kids too. You know, they're going to a Florida school. No, this guy came from Texas. That guy came from California. That guy came from Hawaii. I mean,
That could be what it
A lot of
is
them
right
come
there.
from
They're
Hawaii.
not Florida
They got
born
some
and
big
bred.
guys.
That's what it is, huh?
but I've always thought that way. The college teams usually kick butt. Usually for bragging rights, we usually can brag on the college teams, and then when it comes to NFL, we're kind of like.
Duck your head down.
Look, I told you, I got a bunch of heads during the 80s. I hold my head high.
I know
I don't
you
care.
do. You're not a bandwagon
No,
person. You're
I'm a Florida
following
person.
them.
I love
That's
my
right.
Florida team.
Well, Florida State has an awesome record so far. They're 5-0. Do you think that they're going to be undefeated this season?
They have the possibility of being undefeated. The only team I think that's out there that can give them a challenge is Notre Dame.
That's my next question.
Yeah, it's Notre
Like
Dame.
even Irish, huh?
Yeah, but like, you look at ACC.
Half that team ain't even Irish.
You look at their schedule in ACC. It's a pretty easy schedule. Like I know they play Virginia. They just beat Syracuse. They'll win that game.
He just says that with such confidence. I love that. Considering how
Syracuse.
negative
It's
you are
Syracuse.
that.
No
I
disrespect.
didn't even know they had a football team. I mean, I'm just saying.
Syracuse football team probably wasn't
think
as
basketball
wasn't up there since like Donovan McNabb was there. So that's been a while.
Oh, wow, so they did have somebody at one time.
At one time.
Okay.
had Baldwin
Again,
Harris.
it's not Florida. So.
Yeah. I think Florida State will win next week against Syracuse.
So, how you feeling about the Hurricanes right now?
The Hurricanes.
We didn't get any of this really. I mean, we had some bad storm. Oh, you're talking about the Comets.
I'm sorry.
My bad.
They probably were wishing there was a hurricane to save them from
Don't
the
say
game.
that.
I'm just saying, they lost against Georgia Tech.
They lost to Georgia Tech 28-17, and their defense played pretty decent. What it is Georgia Tech's offense. You don't know who's going to get the ball. And you have 3 to 4 guys in the backfield. You don't know who the quarterback is giving the ball to, and they do a lot of misdirection. So where you might think the quarterback is handing the ball off to one back, another back is going out in the flat. Before you know it, the whole defense is following one guy. This guy over here is wide open. He picks up 20 yards. Like, what are you going to do?
I don't know. Every time you start talking, I just think of the exit search. I'm like, okay, so the one guy you said he did what?
We're going to get a dry erase board in here.
I want that. I asked Coach to do that. Coach did that one. Seriously. We filmed like a little documentary last year, okay? And Coach one time actually started writing out what the play was going to look like. I swear to God, I was like, you got tic-tac-toe there, you got tic-tac-toe there. Like, this is like the most advanced tic-tac-toe game I have ever seen, because 1-0 went all the way over here.
There's arrows, all kinds of interesting.
Yeah, I was like, arrows ain't even in tic-tac-toe. What are you doing?
This is advanced tic-tac-toe. Well, it seems
Advanced tic-tac-toe.
Yeah, that's what he said. It's true. It's advanced
It looks like
tic-tac-toe.
advanced tic-tac-toe.
Now,
Novice
Brad
football
Kaya,
team.
I don't know if I'm saying his name, but it's really fun to
What's his
say it the
name?
way that I say it. It's Brad Kaya. That's how I'm saying
Brad
it.
Kaya.
That's probably
Brad
not how you
Kaya?
say it. Kaya, fine.
No, I'm going with Brad Kaya.
Kaya sounds much more fun.
He should have gone into martial arts.
That's what I think.
That dude should have
We'll
been
bring
into
him up in
MMA
the next
fighter.
segment with boxing and MMA. See
You
what
got a
we
name
can
like,
do with him.
what is it?
Kaya.
With Brandon?
Kaya.
Kaya?
Brad.
Brad? Oh, I
Yeah,
got
I
with
thought
Brandon
it was a
too. I
typo
would
with
have
2 A's
changed
there,
it up.
but no, it seems that it's the real thing. But he seems to be improving week after week. What does he have to do to stay consistent?
Just make the plays the defense gives them, and don't turn the ball over. And I think this weekend he threw 2 interceptions, and I think that also hurt the offense. Not allowing them to be in a position to score points. But I think he'll improve, and you'll see a much better quarterback. He'll be a much better quarterback by the end of the season.
Okay. And do you think Miami can make it to a bowl game this year?
Well, they have to win 6 games to be eligible, but it can happen. But
Gotta tighten up.
yeah, they got to tighten up. That defense I don't know, for some reason, Florida teams don't want to play defense. They have to play defense.
Man, it's like a recurring habit.
It is.
It almost feels like we have nothing else to say.
It's like just defense.
We're just going to go back to our fault line. The weather was bad today, and I'm going to blame that on the defense. My car broke down today, and I'm also blaming that on the Bucs defense. I don't know what happened to my car though.
How do you think the Canes are going to do against Cincinnati on Saturday?
That should be a pretty good game. Cincinnati themselves are, I believe, I think they're 2-2 or 3-2. But the Canes, I think they can win that game. Like I said, I think on offense, the quarterback, if he doesn't turn the ball over, I think they will have a chance to win. If he does, no.
And we need them to win if they plan on making it to a bowl, apparently.
Yes, we do. We need them to win that game.
Are there any other scores of other teams that played in the area this week that you wanted to get into?
Let me see what's going on. FIU actually beat FAU.
What'd you say?
I know.
FIU, Florida International University.
I was about to say, you watch him out. This is
I was waiting. If he was going to let that slide, I was going to start questioning.
They actually beat FAU 38-10. Florida Atlantic University.
Okay.
Spell this out.
Where are these schools even located, sir?
South Florida. I think FIU is in Miami. FAU is in, I think, Boca Raton, I believe.
Them Boca boys, you know they get down.
Stetson, which is actually in the land.
That's that cologne.
They actually lost. Oh man, they actually lost.
Because when I first heard it, I was like, "What? Cologne is like sponsoring football teams now?" Like, they got the Armani Aqua di Gio team coming out. They got the Aramis team coming out. I don't know these things. Novice sports fan. I love the sports. I just, can you really keep all the stats in your head? You end up looking like this guy.
They actually lost 49-41 to Butler. But
Butler.
To Butler.
A school of butlers?
You wonder where they get their education.
Butler University.
Butler. Okay, I didn't know. I just I thought it was a school full of butlers. I was pitching a football team and then a bunch of dudes in tuxes. That's what I thought.
Don't forget the tray. They have to be with the tray.
Oh, that'd be so awesome if they could keep the football on the tray all the way down the field.
That's impressive.
Oh my God.
Oh man.
I would go to that.
I go.
You guys are funny, man.
We digress.
As usual.
But Bethune-Cookman, they beat Delaware State this week, 27-7.
That's rough.
Florida A&M University beat Morgan. They actually lost to Morgan State, 24-7.
It's pretty rough too.
Yeah, and
I hate to use that word.
Florida Tech lost to Delta State, 58-20.
And those are basketball numbers.
Yes, they are.
Wow,
First half.
yes. Wow. Really, first half.
Sounds really interesting.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Derrick.
I'm
Hey,
sorry.
thanks for having me.
You've been here longer than usual. You okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, everybody.
Watch, Coach is in a ditch right now. He wanted more camera time. That's what that is.
Thank you, everybody, for watching. We're going to take our first break, and we'll be back with boxing and MMA. Here's Salamander.
You are tuned in to the Bulldogs Sports Show, brought to you by Salamander Sports Grill. Join us every Monday night from 6:30 through 8 p.m. for our live recording.
Bulldogs Sports Show here at Salamander Sports Grill. We're going to get right into our next segment, which is boxing. I have here to my left Ronny Vega, and to my right here we have Ronny Newell, who is normally our MMA correspondent, but he's going to be sitting in today so we can get some extra opinions from the other side of things. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing good.
Good. Thank you for being here.
All right.
So tell me, what is going on in boxing?
Well, let's start off with a surprise actually this week. Jermaine Taylor has a middleweight championship fight out of nowhere.
Yeah, so where did that come from?
This Wednesday,
Where did that come
Jermaine Taylor, who was in jail on August 26th for shooting one of his cousins.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
He got another opportunity.
He has another opportunity. It's kind of strange because he hasn't beat any potential great fighters. He hasn't had any great fights. People who are at the top 10. So everybody's there's kind of a little bit of an outrage that he has a title shot all of a sudden. So everybody's kind of wondering, how did this happen?
Yeah. How long has he kind of been out for a while? Has he been out at all?
He's been out for a couple weeks. Yeah, but or a month, excuse me. But it's gonna be a tough fight for him. I mean, he is 36 years old. He's been knocked out a lot of times, and once again, once you're a boxer and you get knocked out a lot, it's pretty bad for you. The older you get, the more knocked out you get, the worse your career is going to be.
Yeah.
So he has a very tough fight ahead of him. This guy is no fluke that he's fighting against. He's fighting against Sam Soliman. He has a title. He's the champ. He's young, and he's not going to play around with Jermaine Taylor. Now, I'm not going to take anything away from Jermaine Taylor because he's fought the best. He is a potential future Hall of Famer. And everybody, the punch never goes away, basically, in boxing. So I'm not going to count him out. Exactly.
But it sounds like to me he's doomed for another TKO.
Hopefully not. Hopefully not. Things happen, he can't pull it off.
Does he have any fights between now and then, or he just all his prep work is gonna be for this fight?
He's prepping for this fight right here. Well, he's fighting Wednesday, so prep work is done.
Yeah.
It's time.
It's time. Another thing I want to talk about: Vitaly Klitschko, heavyweight champion.
Heavy hands.
Yeah, exactly.
Heavy hands.
Heavy hands. Killer, the real Drago of Rocky.
Oh yeah.
I see. I don't know how legit it is, but 52 knockouts. That's
52
pretty
knockouts.
intense.
Yeah, he's fighting another. A 28-0 fighter, undefeated fighter, in Germany. The heavyweight division is not that popular the way it used to be, so a lot of people aren't talking about it. But we all know the 70s, 80s, and 90s heavyweight boxers would tear these guys up.
That was boxing.
Exactly, that was boxing. 15 rounds, and these guys, back then could go 20, 30 rounds. So
they bang it out.
I think it's I want to see an American come up. You know what I mean? I want to see another Mike Tyson or another Evander Holyfield or.
I think there's one out there.
I hope
there's one out there.
There's a couple of names out there finally coming up.
Oh yeah.
But this is a different era, a different generation of boxers, and hopefully that'll start changing. You know what I mean? Because heavyweight boxing division used to be the boxing division to watch.
Absolutely.
Right? But all of that just went away. I guess things change, but hopefully that's going to change because we have future heavyweight boxers coming up soon. Another thing I would like to talk about is Bernard Hopkins. He has a fight November 8th versus Sergey Kolov. I can't say these Russian names.
This is going to happen. This is still happening.
Here we go.
History on him anyway, don't it, Bernard? What's the history on him, Bernard?
Bernard Hopkins? Well, he's 49 going on 50.
That's it right
That is nothing wrong in that. Believe it or not, Bernard Hopkins changed.
Impressive to still be boxing, though.
Well, Bernard Hopkins changed everything.
Yes, he did.
As far as age.
Absolutely.
All right? I mean, he's taking it to a whole other level.
Didn't they say it wasn't the miles on the speedometer? How did that go? You know what I'm saying?
No, I can't remember it, but I know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm saying.
I do know this, Bernard Hopkins likes to call himself an alien, and that's what I believe he is, an alien.
If he pulls this off, I'm going to feel that he's an alien.
he's going to pull this off.
It's going to be the greatest. If he pulls this off, this will be one of the greatest.
Is this going to break records of some sort?
He'll make a record. And I don't think nobody's going to catch up with him for a long time. 50 years old. I mean, I believe George Foreman was 45 years old when he gained the title back. So, but this right here, this is, and the man he's fighting, Sergey, he's another boxing killer. He's knocking people out left and right. And for Bernard Hopkins at the age of 50 to beat this man.
And how old is he roughly?
He's late 20s.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
So what's your pick? What's your pick?
I say good question.
All right, what's your pick?
It could go both ways. If Sergey decides to go in there and think he's going to knock this man out and blow right through him, it's not going to happen.
It's not happening.
You have to outthink Bernard Hopkins. You have to outbox Bernard Hopkins. If you go in there with thinking you're going to knock his head off, it's not going to happen. He's going to beat you.
Think he slept on this a little bit? He's probably like, oh, I'm going to fight this older guy. Train so hard.
All of them do.
Slept on him a little?
All of them do. All the boxers sleep on Bernard Hopkins. And he shocks them every single time.
So hopefully he's learned from that, and he's going to bring his A game.
I hope so. I hope Sergey's trainers are pretty intelligent and they train him to box.
Yeah.
Don't look for the knockout. If you look for the knockout, it's not going to happen. It'll be Bernard all the way.
I'm going with Bernard.
You going with Bernard? Me too.
I'm going with Bernard.
Yeah, me too. I respect Bernard. I think he's one of the greatest boxers that ever walked the earth. And I would like to see him win on this and retire.
Absolutely.
As the best boxer.
Yes, indeed.
I think so. Did you have something?
I had a question.
Yeah.
Yes, I wanted to know who you think would be a tougher opponent for Mayweather, Pacquiao or Amir Khan? Seems to be a popular question floating around.
That is a great question, and I'm gonna say Khan would probably be a more dangerous fighter. Yes, because he's very young and he's very fast, very intelligent. And the thing I noticed with a lot about Mayweather, when he fights somebody just as fast or as fast as him, he has a hard time boxing. I mean, I get that from when he fought Zab Judah. The first 6 rounds was Zab Judah.
Oh yeah.
Zab almost knocked him out. Correct.
Right.
Zab was quick. Zab was explosive. I know. It almost doesn't count in boxing.
But that's that guy.
I mean, Zab was quick. Zab was explosive, but Zab's experience killed him.
Yeah.
His conditioning killed him. You know, to fight somebody like Mayweather, you have to be well conditioned and well experienced. And you have to outbox that man.
Right.
You better be ready to fight.
But either way, either person he chooses, Mayweather choosing Pacquiao or Khan, would be a super fight.
Who do you think the people want to see him fight more, Pacquiao?
Pacquiao.
Yeah.
People have been wanting to see that for years
Forever,
now.
right? Is that ever going to happen?
It is going to happen. Like I said before, Mayweather is holding that winning lottery ticket.
You adamantly believe this.
I believe he's holding the winning lottery ticket.
Okay.
That's
going to be his retirement right
That's
there.
going to be his retirement. We're talking about easy over 80 million probably.
Wow.
Easy. The whole world. I think that fight will stop wars.
Yeah.
Brought it to a halt.
Yeah, they'll bring it to a halt.
Everybody's stopping to watch this fight.
Exactly. I mean,
highly wanted.
Muhammad Ali did it before. He stopped wars in his boxing matches, and I believe this Pacquiao versus Mayweather will stop a war.
It's going to be awesome.
Absolutely.
Do you have anything else you want to cover?
That's all I have for now.
That's it? So you want to hop into MMA?
Sure.
That's right. So what is going on?
First and foremost, do not forget November the 21st, 2014, I will be live in effect at the UCF Arena for the Orlando Invasion Breakthrough MMA.
Okay.
First and foremost. I haven't been matched up yet, but I'm waiting on that
coming.
message.
This is like an all-day thing. This is just an all-day thing. Okay, this is exciting. I think we're gonna be. I'm gonna keep throwing it out there. We should be filming this. We should be going there. All right, we're gonna be there.
We're working on it.
That's gonna be awesome. I want to see this.
Oh yeah.
So,
And this weekend we have a great fight this weekend. Rory McDonald.
Yes.
Great fight. He fought what was his name?
Tariq?
Tariq, yeah, Safadon.
Yes.
Beautiful fight. Beautiful finish. It was a good fight, first, second round. It could have went either way. Leg kicks was really doing Rory some damage.
Yeah, that guy has some nasty leg kicks.
Yes,
I mean, he won a lot of fights with those leg kicks.
And he almost won this one with
Yeah.
it, but McDonald he's a tough guy.
Yeah. I mean, look at the people he's training with.
George St. Pierre, as a matter of fact, which means that he gets to go and compete for that belt that St. Pierre actually.
Oh wow!
He gave that belt up with the injury, remember?
Right.
And John Hendricks, he beat Robbie Lawler. He beat him in March.
So technically, oh yeah, that's right.
He beat him in March.
Yeah.
It could be a part 2, but I think because Rory dominated the way he dominated, I'm really believing that he's gonna announce that fight.
Oh yeah.
I think Dana
How many
announce the
rounds
fight.
are there normally in a fight?
Non-championship fight would be 3 rounds, 5 minutes each, but a championship fight is 5 rounds, 5 minutes each.
So this is a 3-round fight. In other words,
No, that was a 5-round.
They were fighting for a
He
title.
ended in the 3rd round. Okay, I was wondering, did he take it all the way to
No,
the
he
end?
knocked him
didn't.
out. Yeah, he hit him with a nasty uppercut. So it was one of those that he just couldn't.
That was it.
So he's up for a title match versus the winner of.
It may not be the winner of now.
Oh, they might not be fighting.
It may be just John Hendricks versus Rory.
Oh, wow.
Because they've already fought once.
Right.
And I think the people want to see Rory versus John Hendricks.
Oh, wow.
Me personally, I want to see that.
Really? I wanted that rematch of Lawler versus Hendricks.
I just think that I'm ready to see that Rory fight. It's a big money fight. I think so. Oh yeah, he deserves it.
Yeah, he deserves it. I mean, technically, Rory is George St. Pierre's protege.
Oh, absolutely.
So that'll be a very interesting fight.
But he's slick. He looks dangerous.
Who do you think will take it though, Hendricks or Rory, if it happens?
I'm a big Red fan, so sorry, Rory.
There you go.
I gotta go with Hendricks.
Anything else interesting coming up in MMA? That's hard to say. In MMA, yes.
Okay, Eminem.
So tongue twister.
Right on. Your boy's back. Tito Ortiz. Bellator 131. I think that's gonna be the week before my fight. November 16th or the 15th, I think that fight is. And he's fighting Stephan Bonner, two veterans.
Yeah, two vets going at it.
I think Bonner's going to go ahead and
I think Bonner's going to take him.
If Tito doesn't pull out from an injury.
Right.
Look at the air quotes.
He has a very bad habit of pulling out
Oh,
injuries.
wow, that's bad. That's not a good name
He
to make
fights
for
maybe
yourself.
once every 3 years.
Yeah.
Give or take a few.
He's preserving.
Oh yeah, he's well preserved.
That's why he can go so long.
So you think who you think he's gonna win that fight?
I'm going Stephan Bonner.
Stephan Bonner?
TKO or KO first round fight.
Me too.
First round?
Oh, first round. This fight's over.
Yeah.
Tito's an animal, but
Yeah.
Stephan is that guy.
Stephan's a big guy. He's a pretty good fighter. He had a pretty good career. So.
It'd be a good career-ending fight for him.
Oh yeah. I agree with you on that one. I think Stephan Bonner will take that one.
Yeah, absolutely. Also, we have UFC 179, Jose Aldo versus Chad Mendes Part 2. Now, when I say a war, it's gonna be a war.
Yes.
I will not miss not a minute of this.
So it's
fight.
going down. It's going to get dirty. It's going to get real.
This is a rematch.
And it's in Brazil.
Okay.
This is a rematch, right?
This is a rematch. It's Part 2.
Right. Who won in the first one?
Jose.
Jose Aldo.
Aldo.
He won by, I believe, a knee to the face, right?
Nasty.
What round was that?
I don't remember the round. You remember that round?
I think it was maybe second or third round. That fight was a while back. He finished him,
He finished him.
Yeah, knee
This
to the
fight
face
here-
is going to
So you
finish
don't-
anybody. You agree.
Oh, yeah. So you don't think it's going to happen again? How you think this, what outcome is this going to be?
It's gonna be another KO.
Another KO from Aldo.
Okay, from Aldo.
All right.
I'm not saying early. It could be one of those late round finishes. Just like this will be a late round finish.
Yeah.
Because Mendes, he's been training for this fight and he's coming prepared. And he's gonna come prepared.
Right.
You know, anytime you get in the cage with Jose Aldo, you
Yeah.
best be prepared.
You
to
best be
fight.
prepared, yeah.
If not, you can ask Uriah Faber when you walk out of here on crutches,
Yeah.
because that man has some amazing kicks. I wouldn't want to stand in front of one of them. Nah,
You know, he's been the king in that weight class for a while, and I think he's been a little bored.
he fights in my weight class.
Yeah. I think he's been a little bored. I think he needs more of a challenge.
I think so too.
There's a couple of guys. I can't remember Conor McGregor.
I think that's who up for this fight. The winner of the Aldo.
Now that's a fight.
That's gonna be a fight.
That's a
Different
super
weight class.
fight.
This is the same weight class.
Same weight class.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Conor McGregor, and Jose Aldo. I think that's a fight in the making.
Yes.
And that's gonna be a beautiful
Because
fight.
Conor McGregor does believe that Jose Aldo has reached his peak, his prime, and he's done.
I would not say
He's
that.
sleeping
He's sleeping on it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I wouldn't sleep on Jose Aldo. I don't care what prime or what peak you think he can reach. That is just not that guy. I want to see that animal, that wild Jose again.
Right.
He's been way too contained.
Somebody is over here, as usual, messing with the MMA fight. He hasn't learned his lesson yet.
Hey, I know some chokes. Very good at choking.
We know how to use those two fingers you were using.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, see? We're going to have our own MMA fight right here in the middle of Salamander.
And there's no rest.
Open it up. The octagon is right here, ladies and gentlemen. So anything else going on in MMA? That was a lot. We covered a lot.
Yeah, we
Anything
did
else?
cover a lot.
Yeah.
We'll save some for the next one.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, both of y'all, for being here.
Thanks for
And
having
ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back with our hot topics.
You are tuned in to the Bulldogs Sports Show, brought to you by Salamander Sports Grill. Join us every Monday night from 6:30 through 8 p.m. for our live recording.
tonight with our hot topics. We have here Derrick Riviere and, of course, Jay
Derrick
Ford.
Riviere. I still think he got rid of Coach.
We'll find out on Monday when he's not here. Next week it'll be, I don't know, he's on tour, so he's got somewhere his kids can't be here.
To officiate again, so Coach Black is down in Miami dealing with the Seminole Mambas.
He wants us
head
on
office.
like recorded.
That's what he said, man.
Okay, all right, you heard it. That's his
Heard it
thing.
here first. Okay.
All right.
So our hot topic for this evening is revolving around Coach Jim Harbaugh of the 49ers.
Right.
I guess there's some speculation that he may not be back after this season,
Why? What
despite
happened?
even if they go to the Super Bowl.
Some of the players are tired of his coaching style. And people gotta realize, Jim Harbaugh to me is like an old school football player. He played in the 80s.
Right.
Like if you get, like.
I don't know if soft coaches.
But you gotta think about it too. Those players also had Mike Singletary, and they didn't like his coaching style either. So come on.
Falling on deaf ears here. So all right.
Like Mike Singletary.
hard on him.
Right, Mike
Making
Singletary
attempts
before
and-
Ray Lewis. Mike Singletary, like before Ray Lewis, was like one of the hardest hitting linebackers in the league. And if Chicago's defense for that year they won the Super Bowl, they are compared. The Ravens' defense of 2000 is compared to that team, to the Chicago Bears' defense. And Mike Singletary is an old school player. And he has an old school mentality when he comes to coaching.
I bet he's a really nice guy. I bet he's a
How
really
long has he
nice
been coaching
guy.
for this team?
Who?
The coach.
Harbaugh? So Harbaugh's been there for 4 years.
4 years. And has this been a recurring thing for the last 4 years? Has this been going on?
Probably for the last two.
Last 2 years.
Yeah.
So they're saying he's pretty hard on him. And
It's
how
probably been hard on him for the last 4. In 2 years, he
But
got
this
them to
guy-
the Super Bowl.
But the CEO backs
he
him.
got him to the
The
Super
CEO of the
Bowl, right?
49ers doesn't seem to agree with that. He's backing him.
Right. See, but people have to realize is Harbaugh and the GM Trent Blake have always, I would say have a power struggle, right? But
So it could
they
be
don't.
political.
Right. They don't
Because I
get
haven't
out.
seen any names that are attached to these allegations, and that's the same thing that Harbaugh seems to be saying. If you have a story, why don't you attach a name to it?
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
and no one's coming up to actually saying, I'm the guy with,
it's just
so who's got
Anonymous
the big-
feels that he's a hard coach, Mr. Anonymous feels.
But it could also be that you don't want to be that guy with your head on the chopping block.
That is true as
You don't
well,
want to be the
but
whistleblower sometimes.
I mean, but I
Sometimes they
don't
just
know
leak stuff.
any soft coaches. I have football coaches in my family, and they are some of the scariest people ever, but they're so sweet. But they'll get,
Coach Black is
he's as sweet as he can be, but I bet you as much as he can be on his player.
yeah. You know Coach Black from the show.
Yeah. Right.
You've seen coach a team.
I know Mr. Black, right? I don't know Coach Black.
Come to one of the games.
It's like
Come
you
to one of the
hear
games.
Jimmy, but you're not listening to Jimmy.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like right now, when Coach is out there, when Coach Black is out there, he's intimidating.
Right, of course.
Like we were filming him, and I actually messed myself.
Oh no.
He scares you that bad. I had to watch what I said. I was like, "There's children
Yes,
here.
there
I
are
got a
children
sponsor. I
here.
got
Depends is going to be his new sponsor.
Right.
I'm not even kidding. I'm not even kidding.
Yeah.
Derrick, back me up. Coach is intimidating.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that's
We're
what
talking about
coaches
his
do.
players.
They kind of scare people into results, and this guy has results. I
Right.
mean, he has a great record.
I mean,
right?
unless he's walking around tasing the players,
Well,
or like,
and,
you know.
and,
But you don't hear
and,
it like-
to his defense, after the Super Bowl season, some players left. After last season, Dante Whitner, one of the hardest hitting safeties in the league, he left. And something, he left and he went to the Browns. Which to me, like, why? But he left. And they had some other key players in defense who also left. So right now, the players who are stepped into that new role of, starting safety, starting cornerback, they have to suck it up and play better.
I don't think that, I don't play football, nor have I ever played football, but I can't imagine that people go into this thinking that they're going to be talked to nicely by the coach. You might not be
Right.
disrespected, but they're going to yell. There's going to be yelling. There might even be some name calling, not necessarily like,
I mean, I had
curse words,
your
but
coach is
come on, you sissies, get it together. That would be
Your
my
coach, your coach critiques
Nice
you.
coaches don't win.
That's right.
Right. Well, what I'm saying is, like, your coach will critique you, and he'll be on your butt. But I mean, there's times that I wouldn't say build you down, but there would be times that you feel broken down from training and being yelled at and this and that. But then there's times that the coach builds you back up. I just don't know if that's that same kind of experience on such a professional league. I don't know how much interaction the coach is actually really doing with every one of his players. It's a lot different.
But do you think that they've gotten to a level that they feel like they can't be talked to like that anymore? Like, but that's not
you mean
allowed.
The coach can't talk to them,
the players feel that I've gotten to this level. I'm this,
that could be too.
Player.
I mean, if a player is like that on your team, he doesn't need to be on your team.
That's not team
because the thing about it is, yeah, you're getting paid millions of dollars, but at the same time, it's your job to go out there and win games for your team and put your team in that position to get to the playoffs and potentially the Super Bowl.
But with every All-Star, you always hear about the horror stories of certain All-Star players, and no matter what profession, I think that's what Morris was saying, is like some of these players, they're at a level where maybe they don't feel like they have to address it. Maybe they feel like because they're such an All-Star player, and he's ripping on them.
Somewhere else.
Yeah, it's like, forget this guy. If I complain, I'm the player here. I'm putting the points on the field. I mean, do you think it's one of those? Like, I'm just trying to play.
No, I understand. It might be, but at the same time, if you are shying away from tough coaching, then at the end of the day, you're only hurting yourself. You ever, I don't know.
But there is a fine line, though. I'm not saying
curse them and be disrespectful, but it's okay to
I'm saying curse them and
get it. Do what you gotta do. I mean, growing up, I would watch. I managed football in high school, and growing up, I would watch. These guys are out there before school even starts. We're out there in the summertime, loaded up with equipment. You're sweating, people are falling out, and the coaches acting right there with them.
You're supposed to be able to take a level of, razzing. But at the same time, I do think maybe it's not the same thing in the professional leagues. Maybe the coaches don't do that same kind of build.
Coaches are under pressure to win. You know?
And they're only talking about one coach. They're not talking about like the offensive. I mean, there's a crap load of coaches.
The head coach is going to take the blunt of everything.
So it's no other one they're talking about. It's just him. They're just signifying him. It's not, and it's not coming from his people below him. It's not just coming from the players.
It's not coming from anybody specifically. It's just
no one got the head of
the report, just says that players are tired of his coaching style. And maybe they are after 4 years. But
even taking out of context, when you're not talking about football, what successful business organization doesn't have a hard leader, a tough leader that's willing to push their people? Whether you're looking at corporate America, whether you're looking at any type of environment where you have a change, the people who push the hardest get the best results.
Correct.
Look at the military man. You had drill sergeants in your dreams. What are you gonna cry? You gonna cry? I mean, get up. You're here to fight for your country.
Even there, they don't build you down, but they stay on top of you.
Yeah, they break you down, they build you back up into a
I don't like to use the word. I don't like to use the word break you down. But
to be a soldier.
There is a part where you are built back up, and the confidence and everything is put back in you. And that's what I'm saying. I don't think on some of these huge levels, I don't think there's that much of the interaction. You may only see them just a couple times. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The military is a little bit different. You're living with that guy.
Yeah.
You got a contract. You're not a person. You're a number.
Right.
That's true. So I hope personally, I hope that he doesn't leave. I strongly believe he's the right coach for that team. If he does leave, all he's going to do is get another coaching job and
with the resume like that, dude,
take another team to the Super Bowl.
Exactly. So either way, he's probably going to win. The people that are going to get hurt are the 49ers, and they lose an awesome coach.
That's right.
And then they'll have to get a new coach in. There'll be a learning curve. They're going to have a bad couple of years. They might bring it back after that. We see it all the time.
Why are you even doing 49? You know what? I hope he does leave. I hope the whole team.
Bring him over to Tampa.
I don't care.
Bring him over to the Bucks. We'll take you over here.
Until they're wearing a Florida jersey, it's not a hot topic. They're just a dead topic.
It's a cold topic.
I threw it down.
I threw it down.
There's a gauntlet. Don't get so. I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding. Randy got my back, right?
I don't know. You put money years on him in the last segment. He might throw you under the bus.
All of them.
All of them.
The offensive line. We don't know about defense.
I think he's just go home and lock the door. Just go home and lock the door.
Offense, but he ain't playing the defense.
Well, you got Randy. You got a couple of rock.
All right. Well, there you go.
You might be a little bit of a defense.
There might be an arsenal somewhere later. Yeah, I got you.
Oh man.
Is that it?
All right.
I guess we've wrapped up. Well, thank everybody for watching. You can catch us here every Monday at Salamander's Sports Grill.
I got some just special thanks to Buckle at the Orlando, Florida Mall for dressing me in Affliction. I got to thank Fine Ink for, if you want a tattoo, it's the South Orange Blossom Trail called Fine Ink Studios. And then check out Urban Barbers, downtown Orlando on Roslyn. Thank you very much.
Next week we're going to have a new segment. It's going to be called Jay's Plugs, okay? Jay's Plug-In. So thank y'all for tuning in every Monday. You can catch us here from about 7 to 8 at Salamander Sports Grill doing the Bulldogs Sports Show. Have a great evening. Thank you.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of the Bulldogs Sports Show. Please come back next week to view a brand new episode.